Hello guys, my name's Fireguy and welcome to Hot Fire. So I am very sorry for this Hot Fire being uploaded or put on the website very late this week, guys. Most of you guys are probably in school like me, so you guys know how it's like. Getting back into the school rhythm and stuff like that is gonna be a bit hard, but I will fit it in Hot Fire whenever I have the chance. Like last week, I was able to do it the day after Impact aired. This time I was a bit busier, so it's gonna vary from time to time like that. Hopefully they don't just keep getting uploaded like this late into the week, but hopefully you guys can forgive me yet again. So before we hop into Hot Fire, guys, I just want to mention one thing. Impact Wrestling, we're not going to call them GFW anymore because they're not called GFW. That's one thing that also happened this weekend. But anyways, Impact Wrestling has announced officially that Bound for Glory will be held in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. For those who don't know, I'm from Ottawa. I live in Ottawa. So that's... what? I'm trying to think of a word, but like... I am super excited. I'm waiting for the ticket sales to go up. Tickets aren't on sale yet, for those who don't know, but the minute they go on sale, I am buying those tickets, guys. I don't care what price they are. I'm going full VIP here. Meet and greet, the whole package, if they can offer that, obviously. Still not sure if I can make it all the days. I know for sure I'll be able to make it for Bound for Glory. I doubt I'll be able to make it the Monday night after. I'm usually busy the Monday nights, but the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think it ends on the Friday. I'll more than likely go, depending on schoolwork and work and stuff like that. So let's get right into this Hot Fire, guys. This is the Hot Fire from last week, from the 14th. Yep, September 14th. I know I'm a bit behind, like I said before, but without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. This is the show where they announced that Victory Road will be happening in 2 weeks. So the show starts off with Lashley and the American Top Team arriving, and they beat up some backstage dude for, no reason, because that's what American Top Team does. People love American Top Team. No one in ImpactAsylum, and I doubt anyone really likes this storyline. But anyways, then we get a quick montage slash video on the Johnny Impact versus Low Ki match that we're getting tonight, which I was really excited for, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. I felt that it didn't perform as well as I thought they would have together. But anyways, we'll get to that later. We get the opening sequence, which yet again, like I said, I mentioned last week, I like the little tweaks they keep doing to it. And we hop right into a match, guys. Garza Jr. versus Braxton Sutter. So this match was quite interesting. This match came to life because of what happened last week. Garza Jr. was checking up on Ali, and then Braxton Sutter got all jealous and aggressive with Garza Jr. Garza Jr. backed off, and it is what it is. So now they're getting a match. Basically, the match, I'll say it was lukewarm. For the simple fact that I don't think this storyline is gonna work now. I feel like the big pop that Ali and Braxton Sutter were getting is long gone. They took way too long telling the Maria Kanellis story. Took way too long with Ali getting trained, quote unquote, by Braxton Sutter, even though she's a fantastic women's wrestler. And now there's no more pop to her. Like, the fans don't react to her the same way. So I feel like the storyline would have been awesome a few months ago, but now they're just like, meh, okay. Ali's getting mad with Braxton Sutter. Braxton Sutter's getting jealous. Cool. Why should we care? But for the match itself, it was pretty back and forth. I was surprised at the amount of offense that Garza Jr. got. I am completely surprised by the ending. Garza Jr. won. He hit a lion salt and then for the pin, and now I was surprised because I thought this would just been a quick squash feud, for Braxton Sutter, a little tiny feud. But no, it seems like they might drag this out. I feel like it's a suitable match for a TV pay-per-view like Victory Road. They could make this last an extra week and maybe have a blow-off match at Victory Road, mid-card feud like this. But besides that, it shouldn't go on any further. Basically, the bigger moments in this match were obviously, of course, when Garza took off his shirt. Ali tried to look away, like she was blushing and all that. And that pissed off Braxton even more. Garza tried to rip off his pants, but Braxton got even more mad there. And then at one point, Braxton Sutter was on the outside, on the apron, but on the floor. And Garza Jr. was about to do a suicide dive, basically. And Braxton Sutter took Ali and put him in Garza Jr.'s path. And Garza Jr. just stopped like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then obviously didn't want to hit or hurt Ali. So it seems like there's shades of a heel Braxton Sutter coming out here. This is probably where it's leading up to. Maybe a Braxton Sutter and Ali split up with Braxton Sutter going heel. It'll be definitely interesting to see if he's able to pull a character off like that. I know Braxton Sutter plays a face, I think, most of the time in the indies. So it'll be cool to see if he's able to pull off a heel character, especially like that. So definitely lukewarm. The match itself wasn't much. It was like 5 minutes long. It just wasn't, nothing special, and the feud isn't nothing interesting either. It's just, it is what it is, kind of, really. Lukewarm right down there in the middle. After the match, Braxton Sutter started yelling at Ali, started yelling at Garza Jr., and then he's like, okay, I'm sorry, Ali, I'm sorry. And then Ali just gets upset and doesn't want to leave with Braxton, and Braxton's like, come, just please, I'm sorry. And then she begrudgingly leaves with Braxton Sutter. Now we go straight to another match, guys. No segments yet again, back-to-back matches right away. This is the Impact Grand Championship match, guys. Ethan Carter III versus El Hijo, not El Hijo, because it's Spanish and I always say Hijo, but it's El Hijo del Fantasma. This is EC3's first title defense since winning against Moose. Finally, it's been like a month and a half now. EC3 has just plummeted down there in his not his prestige, but like, I guess popularity, I guess you could say. But anyways, he comes out, obviously, even if he's a heel, the crowds love him. There was a huge pop for him. I don't know why. It was weird. I don't know. I know Impact is guilty of using the sound effects, the fan sound effects. So if this was a legit fan pop, then okay. But if it was canned, that was just stupid on GFW's part or Impact Wrestling's part. But anyways, this match was a really good match, guys. I enjoyed it. I am giving this definitely a hot. It was really good. This was probably one of the better Grand Championship matches I've seen to date, personally, in my opinion. There's been a few other good ones, but this one was really good as well. First round, obviously, EC3 dominates. A really cool spot in that round was when EC3 hit a TK3 on El Hijo del Fantasma, but throwing him down to the floor while doing it. That was really cool, and it seemed really brutal. But throughout the match, it was just EC3 taunting El Fantasma. EC3 just hitting chops on him, the TK3s. Throughout the match, the commentators were really focusing on the TK3s because he hits lots throughout the match, and it was just trying to build up how strong El Hijo del Fantasma is and how he can be a legit competitor in the ring. And I forgot to mention that Hector Guerrero, my bad, sorry, I offended the whole wrestling community there. But Hector Guerrero was one of the judges at ringside along with Dutch Mantel and Scott D'Amore, since Bruce Pritchard is obviously storyline gone from Impact Wrestling. So obviously the commentators Josh Matthews was like, whoa, he's going to be biased towards Garza Jr., but the first round was won unanimously by EC3. Then And then round 2 starts. Phantasma rushes straight to EC3, and Phantasma controls for this round. Phantasma completely just takes down EC3 for this one. Carter gets a few comebacks here and there to keep him strong, but really, this was Phantasma's round. And then Phantasma wins the second round. So now we're on to the third round. A cool thing about the second round was Phantasma got EC3 into a surfboard hold, and he couldn't cinch it in fast enough, and the timer ran out, and they were building up the whole story about how Phantasma wasn't used to these round things, which makes sense. And third round, it was a big back and forth round. Obviously, the third round's always half and half. You never know who's gonna win. That's the whole gimmick about the Grand Championship. The third round's always, oh my god, it's pretty equal. And a cool thing about this match was at the end. Yet again, EC3 hit the one percenter on Phantasma, but wasn't able to get the pin in time, and he got the 2 count at 0 seconds. One more second, he would have won. But after that, we head to the judges' picks. EC3 is like, oh shit, he knows he lost because of Hector Guerrero. He knows that he thinks that Hector's going to be biased. He's like, I just get the title to Phantasma, let's go, hurry up. And he wins by split decision. Hector Guerrero and Dutch Mantel, I think, voted for EC3, and Scott D'Amore voted for Phantasma. Carter obviously celebrates, pushes it in Phantasma's face. Phantasma gets super mad, rushes out, starts yelling at Hector Guerrero. Hector Guerrero stands up, takes off his glasses, and looks like a fight's about to start up. But no, Phantasma runs back into the ring and starts talking shit with EC3. And then, out of nowhere, Pagano comes out, and that was a very, very weak moment. That was a horrible debut for Pagano. But Pagano comes out, teams at Phantasma, and beats Ethan Carter the third down. Then Eddie Edwards, out of all people, comes out for the save. And Ethan Carter the third's like, no, why? Doesn't even EC3 doesn't even shake his hand after and just leaves. So the match itself was hot. The post-match segment, I'll forgive it. It makes sense that Phantasma got mad at Hector Guerrero. That's a good after segment, and they should have ended it there. That Pagano debut was super, super weak. It came out of nowhere, but at the same time, it wasn't even surprising. He came out and you were like, all right, he's there. It wasn't even a really cool moment like Taya with the lightning strike sound effects, the smoke and all that. He just came out from the audience, and the camera didn't even focus on him. He just entered the ring and started fighting, and then we realized he was there. We were like, okay, really weak moment. I'll forgive it though. It wasn't part of the match. The match itself was hot, and I'm not going to bring the rating down because of that. And the whole Eddie Edwards thing, the psychology wasn't there. And this is the one thing I didn't really like about this episode. This episode of Impact, compared to the other ones, had lots of inconsistencies. Especially down in the main event. There's more of it, but really, what am I trying to say here? I'm choking on my words again. But yeah, lots of inconsistencies. So this what might turn off certain fans. I was like, okay, you said this, but now that this is happening, or this is happening, why, and stuff like that. And this is one idea. The commentators try to pull it off as it's just Impact roster protecting each other from outsiders like the AAA dudes, but that's still not enough. Why would Eddie Edwards care about EC3? EC3 is just a dick to everyone, that's his character. So realistically, he wouldn't come out to save him. So now we cut to Tijuana, Mexico, where LAX walk into the Crash promotion, and they reunite with Homicide, who was at the border doing drugs or something like that. Was the way they wrote him off TV for the last set of tapings. They hit a club. There's a lot of shots of strippers, dancers, pole dancers, stuff like that. And Conan says Conan says that they're gonna win because they paid the they paid off the referee good money, stuff like that, and we get right into the tag team match. So this match is what killed pretty much, I wouldn't say the show, it killed off, this is what brought down the overall rating for me of this episode of Impact. This tag team match, everyone was rooting for it to be the full match, but it wasn't. And on top of that, they added 2 random teams. I liked how they made it work into a storyline, saying that Conan added these 2 extra teams to mess up OVE even more, you know. But it would just, I don't know. It just didn't seem right. It felt cheap put together, you know. Like this match was, they couldn't promote another match with the 2 other teams in it. Like, why do they have to make this 4-way tag team match? So yeah, the other 2 teams in the match were Ultimo Maldito and Hijo de Pirate Morgan, and then versus Black Boy and Archangel Divino versus LAX versus OVE. So I had to look that up to figure out who they were, because the Impact commentators didn't really tell us who they were. And basically this was just a montage of the clips of the match, which was very, very sad. Lots of us, even you guys at ImpactAsylum, we all wanted the full match. We thought we were getting the full match. This was a storyline where the match actually mattered. I get it back when the Hardys used to be in TNA and they were doing the Expedition of Gold thing. Obviously there, it would make more sense to have the clip matches, because that wasn't the main purpose of their whole thing. It was mostly just the shenanigans before and after the matches and them getting all the gold. The matches didn't actually matter as much. Meanwhile here, this was a tag team title match. This was like the big defense, the big 2 best teams in Impact going at each other, and we got a clip match. It was just really bad, and that's why the only reason I'm not giving it freezing and I'm only giving it a cold was because in the match there was some pretty neat dives and near falls there. I think it was Black Boy, the guy that was wearing the mask, and I think it was Ultimo Maldito too, that hit some pretty sick stuff, like some like moves that you wouldn't see normally in American wrestling. It was some stuff I've never even seen, even watching Lucha Underground, stuff like that. Some pretty cool dives, and I was like, cool, this montage actually was fun to watch. So overall, besides that, it was pretty cool. In the end, LAX does retain. They hit the Gringo Killer, and then in 3 minutes, the whole montage was over. So yeah, giving it a cold. The cool dives and cool tricks in that match saved it from being a freezing. This should have not been what it was. It should have been way better than that. After the match, we see OVE going up to the LAX in the locker room, and then Conan's like, whoa, what are you doing here? And OVE's like, we're not scared of you. And Conan's like, well, this is Mexico, dude. You're not dealing just with us, you're dealing with everyone. And the whole locker room circles around OVE, and OVE they're not scared, they're just like looking at them. And Conan's like, you just signed your death certificate, get out of here, leave. OVE just walk away and say that they're gonna get them next time. So that was an interesting segment after the match. Also, that's also really true. Conan is the owner of the Crash promotion, so OVE had some pretty big balls going there, you know, and running shit in the locker room and stuff like that. So that was really interesting to see that happen. And hopefully this feud doesn't end there. Definitely they need to stretch this out for a bit longer, and hopefully OVE can actually get characters going instead of talking like 2 normal dudes, even though their gimmick is crazy punk dudes with masks, you know. So let's go on to the next match here. Crap, I'm sorry. I was drinking there, you know, talking straight for 20 minutes. It's a bit on the throat, you know, guys. Okay, so now it's time for Grado's farewell match to America. So it's Grado versus some jobber. I think his last name was Hopland. They mentioned him once. He's been on Impact TV before. But anyways, the match is over in like 45 seconds. Grado hits the Wii boot, and that gives them the pin. Post match, Grado says he's done. He's catching a coach flight at 10 a.m. and he just wanted to perform one last match in front of the best fans in the entire world. But then Joseph Park comes out and he says he has a surprise. He says Parks and Parks have opened a new sports management division, and that he's sponsoring, he's putting Grado as the boss of that division, so that means he's sponsoring Grado's visa so Grado can stay. And Park says that he's going to be his agent, he's going to get him bookings, in-ring Polaroid shoots. That was a funny comment. And just a bunch of podcast radio appearances. Grado's like, oh my god, thank you so much. They start jumping, hugging each other, and Grado walks off super, super happy. And this is the one thing that I saw was very interesting. At the end, after Grado signs it, and Grado walks off after the hugs and jumping and all around all that, Joseph Park looks at the contract. And that's what really intrigues me. Obviously, I could just be overthinking this, but the way he looked at the contract, it seemed like there's something evil up his sleeve, you know? He has the old Abyss thing, you know, alternate Abyss character. So, I mean, like, this could end up being a feud later on. Who knows? It was just the way he looked at the contract. It seemed like maybe this would come up later on as, like, something to turn Joseph Park heel, you know, or, you know, something bad towards Grado. Who knows? And so yeah, that was very interesting. Obviously the match was nothing, but that post-match segment makes this feud, not this feud, but the storyline a bit more interesting. It's as low level as you can get. People in ImpactAsylum aren't a fan of Grado. Like I said, I don't mind them. I mean, they could have wasted their money on someone better, but like, I don't hate him to the point where he shouldn't be on Impact anymore. I feel like there's comedy wrestlers have roles in wrestling, and they're there to fulfill them. And we always need comedy wrestlers and promotions that like Impact and WWE and Lucha Underground, where it's like more character driven, more family friendly, or more storyline driven, depending what company you're talking about. So we cut to the back here, and Johnny Impact is there saying to the camera that Low Key's a dream opponent. And Low Key's going to Slamtown tonight. So just more promo stuff for the match. And then we get Lashley and American Top Team going into Jim Cornette's office. Lashley says, you know, I finally chose between Impact Wrestling and MMA, and I'm going with MMA. I want my release. Cornette's like, fine, you want to fight it? He's like, you want to have your release? Okay, then your whole American Top Team have to leave this building right now. And tonight, you're going to face Moose one-on-one, settle all the beef you guys have between each other from Triple Mania, and then leave. I don't know why. I just felt weird. The whole segment felt weird. I'm like, why? Why would you want to go out and... Why would Jim Cornette want Lashley go out and face Moose just to sell their differences? Lashley's going to be leaving, so why would he care, you know? It was very, very, overall, very weird segment. At least it's cool, though, that they're bringing Moose into a more prominent role, hopefully. Moose has been left quite in the dark since losing the title to EC3, but even EC3 has been left in the dark, so, you know, pretty weird. Now, on to the next match, guys, here, as it's an X Division title shot, because Trevor Lee lost the tag team match last week. He deserves the title shot, you know? But anyways, it's Sanjay Dutt defending against Trevor Lee in a Falls Count Anywhere match for no apparent reason as well, just to get Caleb Conley involved, pretty much. So this match was, I'm going to give it warm. It was somewhere between hot and lukewarm. I felt that this match was very lackluster. There was no big moments. There wasn't no... I get that the Falls Count Anywhere gimmick match is not meant to be hardcore, but there was still no big defining moment for me personally. There was the garbage cans, and that's about it, really. Basically, they started fighting inside the ring, then ended up fighting throughout the whole audience. The audience didn't seem to care, but I mean, like, they're not really wrestling fans, so I wouldn't judge their reaction for the quality of this match. But they fight throughout the crowd, then they head towards the back of the impact zone. They start fighting in the garage section, I call it, of the impact zone, and then that's where Caleb Conley gets involved. Caleb Conley smashes what we saying trash can. I was trying to look for the word there. Caleb Conley smashes a trash can over Sanjay Dutt's head. Sanjay Dutt tries to fight back. He's cut on top of his head, bleeding. He's trying to fight off both Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay Dutt's not fighting Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay Dutt's fighting Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley off. Some cool, I guess, parkour, quote unquote, bulldog off the top, off the wall, not off the top of the rope, off the wall. Trevor Lee slams Sanjay Dutt down though on one of the railings, right on his man jewels, I guess you could say. And then in the end, like I said, Sanjay Dutt hit a tornado DDT off the wall, but then it's countered. Lee crosses him on the barricade, and then Lee rolls him up for the pin and the victory. Well, the pin and the title, the victory title. So Trevor Lee's now our new X Division champion. Finally, Trevor Lee has the title back on him. Lots of you guys at Impact Asylum, and I believe that Trevor Lee is a huge talent, especially in the Indies. He's had fantastic matches. I don't know why he's held so much back in Impact Wrestling. He's had way better matches over in the Indies. So hopefully they start pushing him, because this guy can definitely be a main eventer. So hopefully they do start pushing him soon. He's definitely worthwhile to check out. And I'm glad that Sanjay Dutt's title reign is over, even though I feel like it was deserving from the win in India and to finally get his X Division title. There's nothing left for him to do. So now this is interesting to see where they go with this. Obviously Sanjay Dutt probably will have his rematch, maybe at Victory Road, maybe after, who knows. But then after that we might finally get Desmond Xavier back on television, as Desmond Xavier's a face, right? So now he can finally go after the title, since a heel has the title. So now on to the next segment here. American Top Team still haven't left the building. They go up to Richard Justice, and they're like, "Who the hell are you?" He's like, "I'm a standby wrestler. I love America. Can I join your team?" And they're just like, after they laugh, and then they just beat him up for no reason, because that's what American Top Team does, you know. A professional MMA team beat up people. And then one of the members lays a shirt down on Richard Justice, and he says, "Yeah, you're a member now." Just making fun of it. Okay, yeah. So on to the next segment, and it's announcement of Global Forged. So Global Forged is basically what they announced. I think is what they announced a while back. Basically, it's GFW's version of Tough Enough in WWE, or like Gut Check, except a different version of Gut Check. So basically, Border City Wrestling, Scott D'Amore School, they got a bunch of recruits or new indie wrestlers, and basically, if I remember what the press release was a while ago, they said that one winner of the Global Forge would get an Impact Wrestling contract, and I think a bit of money or something like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting. If I remember personally, there's a wrestler from my area, Hannibal the Death Dealer. He wrestles lots for Great North Wrestling, one of the indie promotions in my area in Ottawa. I think he said that, I think it was announced that he was part of it. Hopefully he makes it far, because he's definitely a great character and a great wrestler. He did actually got a tryout at WWE back in 2011 and this year, I think, as well. And he did not make the cut both times, but hopefully here he can make it, because it'd be cool to see a homegrown guy from my town make it onto a television like that, because there's not many wrestlers from Ottawa. You hear from Toronto, you hear people from Vancouver and other places, but not many people from Ottawa, you know. So now on to the next match here, as it's Taya Valkyrie's debut match versus Amber Nova. And then so this match basically just was a complete squash. Taya came in with a really sick intro as always, so that's why I'm giving, well, that's not why, but like I'm giving this match hot. It was a suitable squash. Basically Taya starts beating down Amber Nova, hits a sit-out power bomb, but right as she was gonna get the 3 count, she lifts Amber Nova's head off the mat and she says no to the referee, saying no, like I'm gonna keep this match going. And then she hits a double chicken wing face buster. Basically, that's what it's called, I think. To end Nova at 2 minutes probably in the match, So obviously, overall, pretty good match. Well, pretty good squash. I mean, it wasn't really much of a match. It's suitable. Taya Valkyrie definitely needs to do kind of what OVE does, but hopefully with more of a storyline to it. But they do talk about it after the match. There is a storyline leading up to this with these squashes. I hope she gets a few more squashes in, and then that'll make her a suitable candidate for the Knockouts title. Okay, and then we head to the back yet again. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, that's what I was saying. I was just talking about it. The segment after the match was Taya Valkyrie going out to Karen Jarrett, smacking the papers out of her hands and being like, "Did you see that, Jarrett? Did you see that, Karen? Did you see that, Karen? Yeah, well, you better watch next time. I'll prove it to you. And then she walks away, and Karen's like, "What? Why?" So I like that Taya is trying to prove something to Karen. At least it adds a purpose to these squash matches. What am I saying? And hopefully it'll lead somewhere important later on down the road, like a knockout title shot. Now we head back to, we get another backstage segment, this time with Eli Drake and Chris Adonis. This was a really funny segment. He says that he smells something. He smells desperation. He smells the roster trying to reach his level with the little T-Rex arms not being able to reach. And then this was a really funny comment here. Drake was like, "I spotted 2 marks in the main event and he'll be watching." So I just love it when wrestling doesn't break the fourth wall, I guess you could say. Because like, marks is, I guess, I mean, like, it can be an insult outside of wrestling, but it's mostly used in sports and wrestling, stuff like that. So it's funny how he called them marks. It just made me laugh a bit, So overall, that was just a good segment. But as always, Eli Drake is gold on the mic. I was about to say Chris Adonis. I would have shot myself if I said that full word. Chris Adonis is not good on the mic or in the ring. But anyways. Alright, now for the main event match of tonight here. Basically, this match, Johnny Impact versus Low-Ki, I'm giving a hot. So basically, this match, I liked it, but I'll say it wasn't as clean cut and as organized, I guess you could say, as the Low-Ki versus James Storm match. So, but the one thing I enjoyed about this match was that they went balls to the wall, and it made me remember. It kind of made me like think I was watching Lucha Underground for a second. It was just non-stop hard hitting, chops, fancy moves. Well, not really fancy moves, but like just strong style wrestling, and it was just really, really fun to watch. This match passed by in a flash, and it was just overall really, really fast and just really fun to watch. There were some pretty cool moves there. He hit one of the parts. Johnny Impact hits a sliding German suplex on Key from the middle rope. That was pretty cool. The one part where they were both in the tree of woe, one on top of each other after messing up a move, that was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting. I wouldn't say it's cool. There's nothing cool about that, but like there was just unique stuff like that made the match interesting. Another part was when Low-Ki messed up his Warriors way, got cut up in the ropes. That was cool as well. So overall, really, really good match. These two, I'd say, work together because they don't really have similar styles. It's not it. Their styles are similar in the sense as they're both agile, but at the same time play a more heavyweight style of wrestling at the same time, which paid off really, really well in this match. So overall, really, really good. It was weird. It wasn't weird. I mean, like, it's a breath of fresh air that they made this main event about 10, 11, 12 minutes long instead of 20, 25 minutes for the sake of having a 20, 25 minute match. But yeah. After the match, Chris Adonis sneaks in while Eli Drake's music hits, so Johnny Impact gets distracted, and he hits the Adonis lock. That knocks Impact out, and then Drake comes in, looks at Johnny Impact, then hits the gravy train on him to lay him out. And then we head back to Jim Cornette's office. Lashley comes in, says, "Now watch what I'm gonna do to Moose." He's like, you guys will know when I'm done with Impact, once Moose is laid out in the ring. And then we go to the ring, and it's time for Lashley to talk. So obviously, this segment here was obviously 100% filmed before they figured out the storyline. He was, I don't remember exactly because it was a few days back, but the way he was talking about Moose, the way he was saying that, he was saying, I wanted to call out Moose. He was saying, I'm not going to leave this, what am I saying? Okay, first off, he says in the mic, like, he makes a big, like, suspend, what am I saying? He has a huge suspense moment where he's like, I choose MMA, you know, like, unless that was just to get, so the live crowd knows, but, like, we knew it beforehand, Lashley, like, why are you saying it like that? And then after that, he was saying, before I leave, though, I want to talk to Moose, I want to settle stuff with him. And after, obviously it wasn't him, that was Jim Cornette's idea. So yet again, I feel like this segment was filmed way before they figured out this whole storyline with Jim Cornette and American Top Team. It just didn't feel like it was happening at the same time than the storyline itself. And yet again, like, the announcers they were surprised by Lashley calling out Moose when throughout the whole show that was one of the big storylines. The announcers talked about it. It was just overall weird. Moose comes out, you know, just normal clothes, but then straight away Moose throws the first punch. I was surprised. I don't know why Moose would have a beef with Lashley. Well, I guess Moose did eliminate Lashley at Triple Mania from that Battle Royale match, even though they were working in a team. But why would Moose throw the first punch? That was just weird, yet again, psychology. But then Moose gets absolutely destroyed for the first bit of this fight. They start fighting into the crowd again. But then Moose gets a bit of a comeback. Lashley gets a bit of a comeback. A lot of back and forth. And then Moose gets the upper hand near the end of the show, but right away the American Top Team guys show up because they obviously didn't leave, and they start beating Moose down, and they beat Moose down completely, and they pose around his body to end the show. So overall, why did American Top Team have to get involved? Like, why? I don't know why they have to be in literally everything. Hopefully next week we won't see Lashley on television. Like, he's done now. Like, he faced Moose like Jim Cornette wanted him to. He handed it in his release. He said he's gone. Goodbye. So hopefully that means we don't see them for a while on television. Obviously this is not legit. What? I don't think it's legit. They would have announced it on like a wrestling website if it was, you know, wrestling news site. But this is just storyline wise. Impact, I think, Lashley is still contracted to Impact Wrestling. He's still on their roster. So it's going to be interesting to see how they bring him back. Knowing that they're bringing him back means that we're probably going to get ATT or American Top Team back again. And I feel like they might bring him back near lockdown of next year. Who knows? I have no idea where the storyline's going, but that would piss me off if they had a freaking Lethal Lockdown match dedicated to this. But yeah, anyways, I'll end this episode of Hot Fire here. Overall, my rating is gonna be warm. There's a few bad parts, but the good parts strongly outweighed the bad. Like I said, I would have given this a hot if it wasn't for that absolutely atrocious tag team titles montage thing that they ruined everything with. But if it wasn't for that, I would have gotten a hot instead of a warm. And it's barely a warm. I almost gave it a lukewarm, but there was just too much good on this show to warrant a higher rating. So obviously there's only one match announced for Victory Road. That's happening in 2 weeks. Johnny Impact versus Eli Drake for the Global Championship. This is a TV pay-per-view, so I'm guessing that's why there's not much a build to it. But Destination X got a way better build than what we've got so far for Victory Road. So hopefully Impact Wrestling smarten up and they start doing something soon, because Victory Road might fall flat on its ass, especially after such a good TV pay-per-view in Destination X. So I'll end this episode of Hot Fire off here, guys. My name's Fireguy. Hopefully I'll be able to release these Hot Fires more recently with the episodes that they're related to, they're meant for, and not like almost a week gap away from each other. But with school and all, we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode of Hot Fire. Make sure to discuss down in the comments down below if you have any other opinions than I do. And to whoever's going to Bound for Glory in Ottawa, or any other of the days that they're in Ottawa, I'll see you guys there. So yeah, see you all a little bit later.